Football is back, baby. It is back, and I am fired up for it, guys. Welcome into the live stream. I have the Kansas State-Iowa State game right now on my TV up here. Kickoff is in a matter of minutes, and football will be officially back and started up, and I am super excited. So, we're going to be for the next hour, guys. We're going to start the stream off with placing some pregame bets for baseball. We got the Yankees and the Red Sox first pitch in an hour. And then we got some other games going on later today. We do have a couple WNBA games. We have 5 college football games with one kicking off in roughly maybe 15 minutes or so. So let's kind of jump into it first. We're going to start off with some DFS, and then we're going to kind of go from there. Let's go hit and hope. Definitely back. Elwin, morning to you as well. So I'm very excited. Very excited. Nice to see, a couple announcers right now on my screen talking about football. Dave Pash and Dusty. All right, let's reset the filters here on DGF's AI Slip Generator. And again, if you have an account with Better, Dabble, Fliff, PrizePicks, Rebet, or Underdog, get ready to copy and paste, because this is going to show us the best slips right now. It's going to scan and search and scan all the available lines out there. Show us the plays that are just really mispriced, whether it's this Kyle Freeland play, Chelsea Gray. We're getting an incredible price over at PrizePicks. Now, the nice thing here is a one-click bet feature literally loads up the slip for you. And then all I have to do is just, we're just going to be a flex entry. Again, the max wager that I can play on PrizePicks is 5 slips at $5 a slip. But we lock in this first play. And let me go, let's see right here. Let's copy this and share it with you guys. Again, when we're playing these types of slip, guys, these are low-key lotto tickets, right? So not every slip's going to hit, and that's not the strategy behind it. We know we're going to lose more slips than we win, but the ones that we do win, we're getting an incredible price, value, savings for our money. In this case, we're not getting really savings. We're getting paid out more than what we should. And so there's the first slip. That's 19% EV edge. Really nice. So before I create the next one, let's go ahead and click Generate. It looks like we got a 6-pick insured over on Underdog. Now, on Underdog, I cannot play collegiate player props. I can on PrizePicks. In Arizona, it's kind of weird, but I can't play collegiate player props, which is unfortunate. So if you guys can play collegiate props, then obviously, other than this one WNBA slip, these are all college props. So that's going to kind of be a problem for Underdog, is I can't do that. Let me know in the chat. Let me throw up a little poll right now. What's going on, Ken? Coming all the way from Long Island. Afternoon to you, my friend. Let me start up a poll. Who do you got? Who you got? K-State or Iowa State? So obviously, don't watch a ton of Big 12 football, but let me know who you got. Just asking for a friend. We are going to live bet this game, guys, towards the second half of the stream. Once this kind of game gets underway, typically I like for the teams to get into I like for them to each possess the ball once, kind of get a few of their plays out of their system, maybe a series, maybe 2 series. And then once they get that going, then I like to start betting the game a little bit for sure. What do we have here? So this is kind of the same slip from before, if memory serves correct, because it was Freeland, it was Gray, it was Howard. I could play this again as a 5, but I'll probably bypass it. It's just not always my favorite thing to do. 4-pick power entry. Okay, let's get down with this 4-pick power entry. Little college football. Love playing these. So we're going to play this as a 4-pick power. But on PrizePicks, I can play collegiate player props. So it's not all that bad in AZ. We got some options. All right, we got that. What's going on, MP? Irish morning. All right, so there's a 4-pick slip. We gave out a 6-pick and a 4-pick slip. Obviously, a little easier on PrizePicks with the one-click feature. It's right there. Looks like we have a 5-pick entry on Better. I got to check to see if I got any cash in this account, because I make a slip on Better probably like once every 2 weeks. So I don't at the moment, but let me go ahead and see if I can get a quick little deposit in here. Because if I can, I'll go ahead and cook this up. All right, so while I'm making this deposit over here on Better, guys, I'm hopefully can share this with you so it doesn't bump. But in the meantime, let's review that order. Bingo, bango. Let's throw, we got a 5-pick, a 6-pick, a 3-pick. All right, we're good to go. All right, great. It was accepted, my deposit. So let me see if these have bumped or if it's still here. WNBA. We're looking at Mabry over 18.5 points and rebounds. Okay. All right. And then we got, the rest of these are, I don't know if Bettor's going to let me do college football. Doesn't look like I can do college football on Bettor. And so that's a problem because 2 of these plays are college hoops or college football. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem. All right, so I'm not going to be able to cook up this slip then on Bettor, but if you can play collegiate props, so that I wasn't sure with Bettor or parlay play. Wasn't really sure, but there we go. Hedge zone, Kansas State -3. Obviously, really quick. I'd rather have them at -3 than -3.5. That's for sure. Let's take a look at the view alternate point spread. They're about ready to get on the field. Obviously, we have a bit of a delay. Where's Kansas State minus? Where's the 3s at, bro? There it is. Edge zone. Pinnacle's taking 40K on this right now. 4CX taking about $11,000. Okay. They're literally about to kick the ball off. So hopefully you guys saw that earlier from the Arb Father posting that over on his Twitter. I'm just going to wait a little bit to live bet this. But remember the unofficial official play of Edge Zone, and I'll ride it. Even though I don't have any money on it right now, is Kansas State -3. Let's click generate once more. Let's see what else we have going on. We've already cooked this slip up once. This underdog slip, a lot of college football props. So if you guys can play this, play it. Very excited, though, to see that the ball is officially in the air and football, it's back, baby. It's back. Take the touch back. And let's get this party started. So let's look at, we got a rebet 6-pick entry as well. Okay. Again, Prop City, guys, if you use a global sports book, like a Bovada or a BetOnline, you can play this. Or you can hit this up on Rebet. If you're like me and Rebet is no longer now available to you in the state that you live in, then this is where it's a nice option. You can still go over to one of the global sports books like a BetDSI, a MyBookie, and cook this play up. So I won't be doing commentary for the game, but obviously if you're watching this game on your sports book, then you already know what pretty much happens. That's how bad the delay is on YouTube TV. But 1st and 10, handoff to the right. 26 gets about 3 yards, maybe 3.5. Brings up a 2nd and 7. We got a 3-pick entry here. All right, I'll rock this 3-pick entry. A little power. And then we're going to check out the optimizer right now. So again, guys, when it comes to football for me, when live betting, I like each team to get the first series or 2 out of their system. A lot of teams will script plays against certain opponents, especially in the NFL. They'll have 15 to 20 plays scripted for the first series or the first drive or 2 of the game. And then normally they get into their normal cadence and rhythm. And so for me, I just like to hold off. Looking at this game, only 2 plays in, I really want to bet the under. I really want to bet the under on this game. Whether the field looks like crap, it's Ireland, so the weather doesn't look great, and I just really want to bet the under. This is an actual rebet play here for North Carolina Central for today. -7.5, guys, to be honest with you. Here's what I'm going to say, okay? Here's what I'm going to say right now. When it comes to betting football spreads, this might be a really good price on rebet compared to the rest of the books, but this is such a key number that, I'm not going to bet it, okay? I'm just not going to do that. So this is where, in my opinion, the algorithm is looking at the prices for -7.5. But the algorithm, in my opinion, doesn't understand the importance of this number. And so you need to be careful this year when you're betting football. And if you get a team, first half point spread minus 9.5, not that attractive in my opinion, right? Or I'm sorry, plus 9.5, not minus 9.5. Plus 9.5, not that attractive. You get a team at minus 9.5 for first half point spread, I like that a lot. Pay attention to key critical numbers, guys, when it comes to this. Unfortunately, again, this is another college football slip. We're going to go over to OddsJam's Optimizer here in just a second. But just pay attention to that because it's important. I don't think the algorithm understands the importance of key numbers when it comes to football. And when I say algorithm, how you're being told that this is an actual edge, I don't think it really fully understands how important it is with some key numbers. We're going to look at better first, and then we're going to jump over to DraftKings Pick 6. We'll look at Dabble. We'll look at some different plays. Big third down coming up here for Iowa State. Ball's at the 43. See what happens. I like betting unders because most people, when they sit down to watch a football game, they want to bet the over. Sack on the play, so Iowa State's going to have to punt the football away. If you would have bet that under right before that third down play, you'd be looking pretty good right now. Got some nice announcements there. Football's back, Arturo, no doubt about that. Patrick, go ahead and fire away the question. Edge Zone pre-registration is open. First 24 hours were wild. Great to see that. So definitely, yeah. I mean, we got Edge Zone in the chat right now, guys. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. But for most of the times, guys, like I love betting, love betting the unders. Live betting unders, though they just fumbled the punt return. And Iowa State's got the ball inside the 10. I mean, normally when you punt the ball, you expect the returner to be able to handle it. Dude might be looking at that punt returner is probably looking to transfer. I would be putting in your papers right now, son. You're getting ready to transfer. DraftKings 3-pick entries. Not much that I'm seeing here. Right now, guys, currently what DraftKings Pick 6 is offering, 3-pick entries with no insurance are the best odds per slip. Yeah, number 3, K-State, bro, dude, just go down to like Florida Atlantic. They'll accept you. Get your mind right next season, and you can come back and transfer again. It's not a big deal. Oh, man, that's tough. That's the swings of football there. All right, so let's see what else we got going on. So not a lot on DraftKings Pick 6. If I look at Dabble, we'll look at Parlay Play 2, see what we have going on. Dabble 5-pick entries, no insurance. So like right here on the over on Howard, you're getting this at minus 121. This is 7 cents off to FanDuel. Now FanDuel has it at 16.5 on the over, and they have it at minus 114. I don't mind this over 15.5. I like that. Now Pinnacle's at minus 126, but again, it's not that one book is sharp here, so I'd still be fine taking this over on Howard. Rama, I don't know if you're looking at the screen, brother. We are literally looking at Dabble right now, and we just looked at Pick 6. We just looked at Pick 6 30 seconds ago. There wasn't much there, and we are on Dabble right now. So if you're watching the stream, pay attention. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that, Quant. That's very kind of you, man. Yes, I've always known since I was a kid that I'm half decent at announcing. I'm okay. I'd probably do the best at baseball. But right now we got a third and goal from the 11. Play clock's down to 5. Empty set. 2 receivers to the left, 3 stacked up to the right. Looking left. He's looking left the whole way. Flicks it up, and they got a penalty flag on the play. Not sure what the call is going to be. This could be a pretty big deal with a third down. Also, guys, another key factor when you're live betting, if it's third down, or like in here, third and goal from the 11, and you see a flag on the play and you know what the flag is, could help you figure out betting the over or the under, right? Because on a third and goal inside the 10 or the 11, if you see that the offensive lineman held and you know that's why the ref threw the flag, bet the under because they're going to probably kick a field goal. Or if it's on the offensive lineman, it's holding, bet the over. If you see that like a defensive lineman has illegal hands to the face on the offensive lineman, or if it's a clear pass interference on the defense. These are different ways that you can figure out if you should bet the over or the under based on what you're seeing when the game's going on. Just don't forget about that. First and goal, and Iowa State comes up short, so it's going to be second and goal to 1. Let's look at parlay play, and then let's get over to some arbitrage bets. Spending too much. I'm a little enamored right now with football, I'm not going to lie, because I've been clamoring for it for a long time. We also have some NFL preseason going on. Ravens Commanders are going on right now. Or if my brother-in-law is watching, Ravens Redskins, because he refuses to call them the Commanders. Shout out to you, Steve. Arbitrage bets, placing 2 bets on 2 books. Day trading these books. Player passing touchdowns on Jalen Daniels. If you live in a state where you can bet collegiate player props. Whoa, bad snap. Yeah, dude, I'm all on these unders. Kansas State just recovers the ball. Okay, so here's why I'm in on the unders, guys. The field conditions suck. No offense to Ireland. I'm sure you did the best that you could on the pitch to make this a real football stadium. It's raining like crazy. I mean, it looks like it's absolutely pouring right now. Absolutely pouring. I mean, they try to run a toss to the right and just like it's a grease. I mean, look how it's raining so hard. Raining hard, guys. I mean, I have to almost stop what I'm doing really quick to see what these unders are. 45.5, 47 on Desert Diamond. If you guys don't know, I have the sportsbook screen teed up, ready to go. Where are we at with this? Pinnacle's at 45.5. Oh, God. I mean, I'm probably too late to get this over on a Canby Sportsbook. I'll take 46.5 still. That's fine. 46.5. Let's go live. I just have to get an under on this game. Not saying this is necessarily a sharp play, guys, but we're going to throw $100 on the under 46 right now at minus 112. It's just going to drop. All right, so I just got this on Desert Diamond right now. The under 46, can't see because my head's in the way. Under 46 at minus 112. I have to, it's not necessarily like an incredible play in terms of where it started, but just got to get this because the weather looks so bad that the teams are going to run so here's why. If the weather conditions are bad, teams are going to run the ball because they protect the ball. If they run the ball, there's going to be more clock that's going to run. So they're not going to be airing it out. It's not going to be an air raid type of game. So we're going to get this at under 46. I don't know if I necessarily got a great price, but that's okay. I'm okay with this right now because this is kind of more of a watching football and just they're going to score some points, but I just don't know. You can see like the point spread hasn't moved a lot. Though Kansas State at minus 2.5, that's a key number. I would definitely get in on minus 2.5 over on Fanatics, right? Like this is pretty clear. Even though you're paying a couple extra cents in juice, Kansas State wins by 3. This is a winner, right? And they're getting the ball right now. So I'm going over here, and I'm going to grab this K-State play for as much as Fanatics will let me bet. They won't. What's the max wager size? Because I'm getting hit with some limits right now. I'm just trying to get this through. $50? Will they take $50? Game suspended right now, and it just moved to minus 3.5. Of course it moved to minus 3.5. So I couldn't get that bet in on Fanatics. Hopefully you guys were able to see that on the sportsbook screen here in the middle section, that like at minus 2.5, while you're paying a little bit extra juice, it's a very key number to get at minus 2.5 compared to all the other books that have it at minus 3, right? And so we're just kind of hoping for some more football that's kind of a little bit sloppy, and they're just going to run the ball. And as long as Kansas State doesn't fumble here, you know, maybe they could pick up a first down and then they punt the ball. So anyways, at least I got in one bet because I can't just idly sit by here and watch them with these weather conditions and not bet an under. It's just not going to happen. Let's get back over those some arbitrage. Let's refresh this page. And if you guys are new to sports betting, right, because some people are coming back because of football, there is this strategy called arbitrage where you can literally day trade the books and make some money. So right here in this example, Team total shots, a little different between FanDuel and Bet365. You bet $100 on the under here at 365. You bet $70 on the over on FanDuel. Your total investment's $170. If this over hits, right, there's no way they can get a half of a shot in the game. They're going to get 11 or more or 10 or less. So you're going to get paid out $175 total, $5 profit. Or if the under hits, you get paid out $183. So you get your $170 back plus $13. With arbitrage betting, the more money that you invest, the more money that you can make. You're making almost a 5.5% return off this investment. So again, the more money that you invest, the more money that you can make. 3rd and 7, incomplete pass. Kansas State has to punt the ball. Okay. We might be able to now with them punting the ball, and I wasn't able to get their spread. Might be able to get some better spreads. You can see that first pass by the quarterback was low behind the receiver. You could just see when they slow the game down, just rain is it's downpouring right now on this field. So there's going to be some slips. There's going to be some mistakes. We want a good snap, good hold, but I like the unders a lot. Appreciate that. Western Kentucky under 62.5. Appreciate that. Pick six is a 30% college football boost. That's good to know. That's good to know because, like I said, the only problem with pick six, it might be specific for college football props, right? I don't know if you're not gonna probably be able to put that boost on this baseball game, but that's good to know. All right, so let's get into some EV bets. Let's look at some home runs, and then let's look at some pitcher strikeouts, and then we'll probably focus a bit more on live betting this game. And so, okay, let's see what we got going on. We're going to look for additive here, guys. We're going to look at Pinnacle. Still baseball going on for this month and for about another month straight. I'm not going to I'll set a percentage at 1%. And then our odds range here, right? 100, we're going to go plus 600. Now, by the way, guys, I have to mention this. If you want to start live betting, right, at least use code Billy35, right? I'll throw this in the link, throw this in the chat, right? You're going to get a 1-week free trial, 35% off your first month. But when you go over to OddsJam and you talk to the team over there, tell them that I told you that you could get 1 week of platinum for free. Say, yo, Billy told me that I could get 1 week of platinum for free. Hook it up, right? We're going to come over here to baseball. Do whatever you need to do to get your 1 week free trial. Whatever you need to do, and make sure it's platinum because it's a lot of fun to live bet. Especially live betting football. You can make a lot of money live betting. Live betting prolongs your account health. It's not even close compared to pregame betting. You will get limited eventually by these sports books if you make money. That's just the reality of it. But live betting is going to help you out a ton. So before we look at even the plays on the screen, we're going to come over here to Ballpark Pal. Park factors today, looking at park conditions, right? We want to go after the high green percentages in the home run department. So I like Citizens Bank Park, Milwaukee, Chicago, where the White Sox play at Rate Field, Angel Stadium, Oriole Park, right? I'm not saying there's not a home run going to be hit today in the Marlins-Blue Jays game. I just would rather place positive expected value bets in ballparks where there's good hitting conditions. That's what I want to do with this. $10 a month, guys. There's still some baseball left. Honestly, dude, this thing has paid for itself probably 1,000 times over this year with how much money I've made betting player home runs. You're going to see that there's going to be a lot of Bally bets, right, that are going to be offering, or bet parks. But here, right, we talked about Angel Stadium PCA home run. I like that. Raffy home run. I like that. Willie Adames. I like that, right? These would be 3 games that I can get into. Now, at plus 390 odds, if I can't get plus 390 over at Bally Bet, you could obviously bet this over at Circa. We could bet this at plus 375 at Bet365. I like that. Desert Diamonds at 360. I'd rather bet this over at Bet365. So I'm going to go ahead and log in over on 365. And then all I'm going to do is click into this calculator, right? Because we're getting better odds than the fair. The fair odds are plus 345. What's the Kelly Blue Book, really, of the price of this game? So as long as the odds that you're receiving are above this, then I'm in, right? So I'm getting this at plus 375. Love this, dude. Iowa State gets 1 yard. They keep the ball in bounds. Let's just run clock all day long. Okay, so it tells me I have about almost a 7% edge. I should bet like $90 on PCA to go deep. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to round up to $100. Nice, easy number. Good hitting conditions out in California for this Angels-Cubs game. And I'm going to throw $100 on this just to show you guys I'm a man of my word. Bingo. There it is. $100 on PCA to go deep. So we're going to add this to the bet tracker. $375, $100. There it is. Okay, and then we got Raffy. Raffy to go deep in this Giants-Brewers game. Again, if you can't get this at Ballybet, as long as you can get odds above plus 377, that's a good price. So not a good price at Caesars. Onyx, FanDuel, Bet365. If you live somewhere where you don't have FanDuel or DraftKings, but you have access to NoVig and ProfitX, you can literally create your own odds right here. You can see that the best odds on the under are at minus 429. Why don't you go over to ProfitX or NoVig, preferably NoVig, and set this up at plus 415 to bet the over? You're going to give someone minus 415 odds on the under. You're going to get a great price on the over. Little things you can do when it comes to betting these player home run props. So I'm going to log in over to FanDuel. Now, this is my personal FanDuel account, and it's quite limited. We already got another punt in this game. Iowa State's getting the ball back. High snap, but looks like they get the ball off. Just catch it, bro. All right, he caught it. Or just get out of the way. That's something else that you could do. All right, so let's take a look over at FanDuel. We're going to look at Devers to go deep in this game. So I got $200 in this account. I don't know. My limits might be pretty bad for betting player home runs. Honestly, I don't know. So we'll see. Devers at plus 400. What's the max wager? $150? Dude, not bad. I should just continue to use my personal FanDuel account here. This isn't that bad. So we're getting this at plus now 400 odds. They're telling me to wager about $60. So that's what I'll do. I'll wager 60 over here on Devers. So we're in on Devers for $60. FanDuel. And we'll put that over here. Same thing with Adames. Adames right here, plus 460 odds. I like that because we talked about the hitting conditions in Milwaukee. So I'm just going to come over here. They're telling me to wager $50. That's fine by me. Go 50. Bingo. There it is. We get Adames for $50. If Devers or Adames, if one of the two guys goes deep, I have a total investment of $110. And I'm going, so like this is what you have to understand. We're betting long shot underdogs, guys. I have a total investment here of $110 between Adames and Raffy. One of these dudes hits a home run, I'm really happy, okay? One of these dudes goes deep, I'm happy. Or between PCA. So there we go. We're going to grab this over on FanDuel. You can get this obviously over at either BetParks or Ballybet. All right, we're in. 3rd and 13. Kansas State's already got just run the ball here, boys. Get a little field, play a little field position here. There we go. Nothing like a 3rd and 13 draw play. Fantastic. This first quarter for betting and under could not have been any better right now. It's so nice. Just a little live looking on how the unders are. We're already down to what, 41.5, 40.5. We bet this the under at 46. So we're obviously got a couple field goals in our favor right now. Just got to have another good snap, another good hold, good punt. This is just one of those things, guys, when you're watching the game and you see that there's rain on the camera, it's pretty simple to say like, yo, these conditions really stink. The ball's going to be really slippery. They're probably not going to throw the ball 50 times a game. So, they're going to run the ball more and it's going to get slowed down. All right, let's get back over here on, I want to get some K-State action here. Little K-State action. So where's this college football at? Let's go live. And we can get this at minus 102, K-State. Obviously, they just punted the ball. Pinnacle sees this at -1 and minus 110. So this is not actually a good price on FanDuel. Not a good price at all to get the -2.5. To be honest, I mean, -1 and minus 2.5, it's kind of important. -2.5 is not all that big of a deal. They win by 3, they win by 3, right? But -1's kind of a big deal because of where -1.5, not so much. If you can get -1, I like that. So I might wait here to see, because I'm not just going to degen bet this just to degen bet it. We're looking at first half total points up here too, guys. If you're seeing this, 16.5, 17.5 is a pretty key number here, guys. Now the price that we're paying it, I don't know if I like that price, but 17.5 is a key number because, 17-10, 10-7 first half could be pretty likely here. And obviously, the more that we get there, it's a very key number. So again, I'm going to kind of maybe go off this and we'll see. But let's go first half scoring here. First half total. This is a juicy play. So I'll go $100 here on this under 17.5. Oh, I don't have enough money. Sugar. All right, let's do $90 then, because that's all I got left. All right, we'll do $90 on the under live. It's a very key number. I'm paying the juice. I don't know how great the juice is there in terms of it's a little juicy, but it's a very important number. All right, so we got the under 17.5. And we have the under 46. We'll see how that goes. Patrick, that's a great question. Great question, dude. Let me pull up. Where is my odds jam screen? I'm going to come back over here. Also, we got the Moneyline plays here, guys. If you want to look at Moneyline's, interesting. Whoa, we can get Iowa State at plus 115. Is this real? Dude. Let's pause for a second. So normally, there's a couple different ways you could do it. And they used to have, what you could do is set up with the chat. But you can just set up either a coaching call, right? Coaching calls where you're going to be able to set this up where you can talk to them. Also, if you want to, Patrick, I'll send you this. This is Randall. He's going to be the one you talk to. Just Randall at OddsJam. Email Randall at OddsJam, and he'll talk to you. Randall's one of the best. None really better than him, and he'll be able to kind of set you up. So we got the Moneyline plays here. We got this sportsbook screen. I don't know if this is real. If this is real over at MGM, I mean, Iowa State on the Moneyline at plus odds, when Pinnacle's flashing minus 109 is a great price. This might be a stale number. Probably is stale. Let me refresh this really quickly. It's not. It's at plus 105. I still like it at plus 105. Plus 110. Plus 105. This is minus 109 on Pinnacle. Trying to get this right now at Iowa State Moneyline at plus 105. I'm in the timer right now. But I'm hoping that, there we go. All right, we just got Iowa State. Just got Iowa State Moneyline plus 105 right here. So we're in. Again, guys, my BetMGM account's pretty limited. I just bet $100 live betting. So that's kind of the beauty when it comes to it. They got the ball. They're across the 50. If they literally can get a first down, we're looking pretty good. So we got a lot going on. We got Iowa State now on the Moneyline. We have the first half under 17.5. That's now at 16.5 here, which it's not that big of a deal because 17 and 16, it's not all that important. And then we got the under 46, and you can see that the totals are just nose bomb. They're just out of the sky. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's get back over and bet some more. Let's look at some pitcher strikeouts. I have like 5 screens pulled up at once. I have to excuse me, guys, for my enthusiasm. It's just I am so excited that football's back. So excited. And there's a lot of wonderful betting opportunities when it comes to football. So it's kind of hard to ignore. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay. So we'll refresh this once more. The Ketel Marte play, I mean, Arizona, they're gonna have the roof closed. So, first down Iowa State. Okay. Let's go. But they're going to have the roof closed, so it's going to be pretty neutral hitting conditions. Let's go over here to markets. Let's clear this out. Let's go to strikeouts. If you guys find any insight at all into the streams, the best way that you can support me is by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. When we hit 7,500 subscribers, guys, I'm giving away $75 to 7 people on the stream. So it's going to be a fun time. One thing also, I did drop a video yesterday. Different video. Touchdown, Iowa State. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. And the unders, we still want to play. We still want to play conservative football, but our money line play on Iowa State looks pretty good right now. Dropped a video talking about fantasy football in RotoWire's tool. It's a really good tool, guys. Definitely check out the video. If you're getting ready to draft this season, they have an incredible mock draft simulator. So definitely check that out. And I think you'll find some incredible value with it. It's if you don't buy, I hope you guys for your fantasy football drafts aren't just going to the local drugstore to buy a magazine. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that's not the case. All right, let's show the results here. Let's take a look. There you go. What's going on, Dan? What's going on, brother? All right, so, there's obviously going to be some points scored in this football game. And, to be able to get that touchdown is really, really nice. So we're off and running. Okay, we're going to look at some strikeouts. One of my favorite websites that I love to use. OGs and DGens know this, but check it out. TeamRankings.com. It's a free website. So when the idea behind using this website is that we're going to be recommended to either bet overs or unders on pitchers. And so if we're being recommended to bet the overs on pitchers, we're looking at just how teams have fared in the last 3-10 games, how they fare on the road, how they fare at home in terms of striking out. And so the idea is that we want to focus on teams. If we're being told to bet the over on Prismat, then we want to bet, or in this case, we want to bet Peralta on the under. We want to make sure that the Giants then don't strike out a lot because that would favor the under. If the Giants strike out a lot, but we're being recommended to bet the under, I'm not saying this under can't hit. It's just not something that I like to put myself in a position of. So that's kind of what we're looking at here in terms of these different pitchers and, if we're being recommended to play. So when it comes to Prismat, we know that he pitches for the Diamondbacks. So over on Onyx, or we had this over at Onyx, now it's gone. Paddock now, he's pitching for, I believe he's pitching for the Tigers. Can't remember who he pitches for. I'm just pulling up his name off to the side. Yeah, he's on the Tigers. So the hard part here, guys, is like Kansas City. Well, Kansas City strikes out the second least amount in Major League Baseball. And while they are on the road, they strike out the least amount in Major League Baseball on the road. So the problem here with this play is we're being recommended to bet the over. And it's a good price to FanDuel. And it's a good price to Bookmaker and Pinnacle. And it's not bad to Circa. It's just tough to go up and take this play when and the other hard part here is that DraftKings just moved. Out of all the sports books that we're looking at, let's remove BetMGM. Let's add a couple of books here. Uh-oh. K-State off to the races. Looks like the points might be coming, guys. Where's Bookmaker at? Right here. There we go. So the problem here is that out of all the sharp books, DraftKings has moved the most in the last 12 minutes, right? They were chilling here with everybody else at plus 105. And now within the last 10 minutes or so, they've moved up, right? So that's kind of the scary part here is this is the rec book that's moved. All right, we got a little false start on Kansas State. Back it up a little bit, guys. Let's slow it down a little bit. The first 7 minutes of this game were beautiful. Let's just slow things down a touch. Okay, so let's see what else. So if you want to bet this Paddock play, it's really good to Pinnacle, Bookmaker, and FanDuel. The problem is DraftKings has moved, and I don't like that. Peralta on his under. San Francisco. Giants ranked right now 20th in Major League Baseball for striking out. So that means they strike out a little bit. They're top 10 for striking out more than others. So striking out more than other. When they're on the road, the Giants strike out the sixth most in baseball. So we're looking to bet this under here. It's a good price to FanDuel. It's okay to Bookmaker. But again, I'm just going to probably bypass this. Andrew Abbott, who pitches for the Reds, we're looking to bet this under against the Diamondbacks. And guess what? Arizona is 10th. They strike out the 10th least amount in Major League Baseball. Now, I think Bookmaker's pretty sharp here, but I want to see where the books are moving, okay? Let's remove Bet Rivers. Let's remove a little bit of this noise. By the way, guys, I think Prime Sports, another really good sports book to kind of look at. They've moved up a lot recently on this under. So they've actually, so you can see that Bookmaker and Prime have both moved. Prime is a book that's available in New Jersey, Ohio, and Kentucky. But, I'm probably going to stay away from this. Now, FanDuel's moved a little bit down. Ever since the move came up from Bookmaker, FanDuel's moved from a minus 166 to minus 172. So I'm kind of getting conflicting information here. I'm not going to try to solve this puzzle. I'm just going to move on from it. But obviously, betting the under with the Diamondbacks strike out the 10th least amount in Major League Baseball, I don't mind that. Mitchell Parker on this under. Philadelphia, looks like now it's going to be a 4th and 1 maybe for, it might be a first down or it's going to be 4th and 1 for Kansas State. Big decision here if they go for it, because this could really swing things. We'll see what happens. Mitchell Parker, when we're looking at Philadelphia, we would for our unders, we do not want Kansas State to get the ball to convert this. If Kansas State doesn't convert, that would be really good for our unders. But if they do get it, it's obviously going to increase the chance that, our first half under maybe doesn't look as good. But I'm really happy that we got the under 17.5 compared to the under 16.5. And K-State's going to take a timeout and talk about it. So Philly strikes out the 11th least amount in Major League Baseball. They are at home, which is actually really good because they're about the same. So I would like this. On a Canby Sportsbook here, I like this minus 108. I can get behind this. Now, if you want to take a look at where the sharp books, where everyone's moving, you can see Pinnacle's kind of chilling here. Bookmaker's chilling. FanDuel just believes it should be at minus 128. And I like FanDuel a little bit more with their projections. So I'm going to go in on this Mitchell Parker play. This is over on Desert Diamond. Under 3.5 minus 108. I'm just going to probably bet $100. Let's go back. Again, guys, this is just an Arizona Canby Sportsbook. But if you have Bet Rivers, hit this play up. And let's take a look here. We're going to go to Pitcher Props. Mitchell Parker. It's at minus 107, which is slightly better. I'll just go $100. Bingo. There we go. We got the under for minus 107. Again, guys, I just don't tell you what to bet. I also bet these myself. So we'll put this in as Desert Diamond. 4th and 1. And they convert. Okay. So what we want now for our unders, what we really want is we want them to not get in the end zone for the rest of the first quarter. We just want we want the clock to run, and they just kind of like slow things down a little bit, and they go in the second quarter still with the ball inside the red zone. That's what I'd really, really like to see. There's probably going to be 2 more plays unless it's an incomplete pass. 1st and 10. They're at the 16. Motion to the right, fake. Oh, fumbled the snap. That's good. Sack. Oh, he threw it away. Oh, a sack would have been so good for our unders. Dang it. Maybe that makes K-State rethink about going shotgun because the dude can't, because the ball's wet. He caught it, but it was a bad handoff. The handoff just was a bad exchange. Oh, you can tell my passion when it comes to betting football. All right, so we got one play here. Let's take a look at Will Warren really quick. Red Sox strike out quite a bit, guys. I will say that. Red Sox strike out, let's see. They strike out the 4th most in Major League Baseball, and they are on the road. And Boston strikes out the most in Major League Baseball, the most. So while Pinnacle is showing plus 112, you can see FanDuel and Bookmaker are aligned on this price. This Will Warren over, I'm kind of into this Will Warren over a little bit right now. Yeah, I kind of like this. So again, if you guys, beautiful. They're going to take it to the quarter. Exactly what we wanted. So they might score a touchdown, but we got the under 17.5, so we can still give up a field goal. What we're looking for here, guys, is bet 105. And they only have this at plus 103 odds. That stinks. We're going to go over to 4CX. This is an exchange, like a Novig, like a Profit X, that I can go ahead and wager on. Where's 4CX? Here it is. And let's go over to Major League Baseball. And this is going to be out there. So we'll go to props. This game's about to start in about 15 to 20 minutes. So total strikeouts, Will Warren over 5.5. They're telling me to wager, I don't know, because my screen's all messed up. So let's just go with 100 on this one as well. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. All right, we're in for 100. 100 on Will Warren on his overs. over on 4CX. We got this at plus 110, slightly worse price. Bingo. There we go. Okay, let's take a live look in right now, guys. Now that the first quarter's in the books, let's take a look at what's going on live with, we got some different stuff. So we got Moneyline plays. Let's kind of refresh a couple of things here. I'm using the sportsbook screen, guys, over here at OddsJam. This is no doubt my favorite tool to use when it comes to live betting. Not even close. Not even close. All right, so our Moneyline play. We bet Iowa State at plus 105 right now. I could literally go ahead and bet this over at Kansas State. Day trade the sports books right now. The over-under, we bet it under 46. It's chilling right now, 45, 46 and a half. So it's right now actually where it is. If you got this earlier, though, when the game first started, that's great. And our first half total points is now all the way up to 22 and a half. So the 17 and a half doesn't look very good. But again, if Iowa State doesn't convert this third down, then that could change some things. So if I wanted to right now, guys, I could literally pull up an ARB calculator down here at the bottom. I could go arbitrage calculator. And I could say, yo, I got this play at plus 105 over on MGM. And I got this for $100. I could get this at 102 over on FanDuel. And this would be about a 1.71% ARB. It's not a great ARB, but it is an ARB nonetheless, right? If Iowa State holds Kansas State to 3 points, or they maybe force a turnover, then these odds are going to get even longer for Kansas State, and we're going to be able to maybe ARB out of this if we wanted to at a better price. But the whole idea behind the strategy, guys, is that we found a play that was positive EV. We originally found a play over on MGM that was positive EV. Now, you guys can use the positive EV or arbitrage tool. When it comes to live betting, I just really prefer to use the sportsbook screen, especially when we're betting on football. The reason I love using the sportsbook screen is in this particular point in time, I am only watching the Kansas State game. So it's really easy to follow the screen to see what's going on, right? It's really easy. Now, obviously, there's a delay on YouTube TV. So if the odds are flashing for Kansas State, that means they're probably going to punch it in, right? But we're waiting to see what happens here in the second half, or the second quarter, I should say. But that's kind of how I like to live bet when it comes to football. Now, I already placed one bet on the under. So I'm not maybe looking to bet the under again and again and again. Again, it's a risk-reward type thing. A lot of people make mistakes. They bet the under like we did early in the game. Maybe things work out for us. It looks really good. And then they keep betting more unders, or you keep betting more overs. Betting unders, you got to be careful because the under's never dead. You have to wait until the game actually ends. So betting overs is a little different. If you find an over and you bet it and then it cashes and you add on to your position a little bit more, that's fine. It's just you don't want to make sure that you already are eating into your profits that you made. So there is a balance to this. Just because they're maybe scoring like crazy or the defenses are playing great doesn't mean that's going to continue for the rest of the game, right? So things can change, right? Iowa State gets a pretty quick touchdown. K-State's now in the red zone. Things can change a bit. So you want to be careful and mindful of that when you're betting on this and what you're kind of looking at here. So let's see what happens here. 3rd and 4. I'm already probably behind the 8 ball. So yeah, it's a touchdown, right? Yeah, touchdown K-State. All right, so our under first half under is not looking great. But in terms of our, it's interesting. I thought MGM was going to flash that earlier, but they didn't. It was actually at the same time, which is really interesting. All right, so now we're kind of getting into more of a regular game that we were expecting to see, and we'll kind of see what happens now when it comes to the spreads and the points. Our first half's now going to go up to 24.5. What we're really hoping is there's only a field goal score the rest of the way, which doesn't look great. Honestly, it doesn't look great. It doesn't really matter to me if they miss this extra point or not for the first half total. He makes it 7-7 game. Okay. But these are going to be the swings that we're going to deal with, guys, when it comes to live betting. And just waiting for some more. Again, if you like Kansas State on that point spread now, getting them at -2.5 could be another good number. All right, so let's go back. We'll hit up some more pregame bets because we still got some more time for sure. Make sure I'm answering any questions. Ken, I really appreciate the support, brother. I really appreciate that. And by the way, if anyone wants to chirp me on bets that I place, I'm just going to let you know right now, I'm not going to win every bet that I place. So if you're expecting that from me, you're probably in the wrong spot. But we're going to lose. We are going to lose a couple of bets here and there. That's how it's going to go. But Ken, I really appreciate that, man, because it is very unfortunate in terms of your situation. That's for sure. But appreciate you. All right, so Paddock over 3.5. I mean, plus 120 moved to plus 115. Okay. Waka over 4.5. He's pitching for the Royals. Detroit strikes out quite a bit. They strike out the 5th most. We'll look at some WNBA player props too, and see if we can look at any other college football plays for today. Obviously, though, if you're looking at point spreads and totals for college football today, you're too late to the party. I would say most likely you shouldn't be looking to bet any point spreads or totals for today's games because it's pretty much the value's already sucked dry. But if you're looking for next week's games, there can be some value there for sure. So FanDuel's at plus 110, bookmakers plus 117. If you can't, I don't mind this maybe over at Bet365. Obviously, no vig. This is pretty good. If you guys have an exchange, you can obviously create your own odds. So if you want to create this at maybe a plus 133, you can offer odds that are, I would offer this at probably plus 139, plus 140, giving the person on the other side odds of like minus 139. So while we have Iowa State on the money line here, I would just love to see a couple 3-and-outs back and forth between these teams and just kind of run some clock for the second quarter and see what we have going on. But for this over, I'll probably just go over to maybe Bet365 and try to snag a little bit of this for $50. Let me go ahead and log in over here. Love seeing that. Love seeing that first down run that gets very, very little. Stay in bounds. Clock keeps running. Betting unders watching football is definitely a different experience watching it for sure. Detroit Waka. Okay, we're going to look at player props. So obviously, if you guys can get this on no vig, I do like this. Again, guys, the liquidity on no vig is $75. So it's not like a professional sports bettor sitting out there trying to dangle a carrot in front of you. It's not all that incredible of liquidity. So I would not be afraid when there's $75 of liquidity sitting there. I wouldn't be too worried about that. 2nd and 9, drops back to pass. Dump off, incomplete. Okay, we'd like to see more runs, but we'll see. Maybe they can get a completed pass that's a little short of the sticks. We'd like to maybe see them get 1 first down and then have to punt the ball. That would be great. Okay, so we get Waka over on his strikeouts. Let's take a look at some WNBA player props. I'm a big fan of FanDuel when it comes to WNBA player props. That's what I would say. That's kind of my jam a little bit more. And then let's look at, we'll even look at some main markets as well, but we'll flash the player props. Okay, so a couple different plays here. Fibich, completely different price on Onyx compared to DraftKings. Well, that's not a good thing if you fumble the ball when you take a sack. Terrible result. Terrible result for our money line and for our first half under on a 3rd and 9 when you fumble the football. Fibich at plus 145. Is this still out there, though? No, but I really like the fact that FanDuel just dropped off a cliff. You guys can see here, FanDuel, I mean, if you guys can get this on DraftKings, this is a great price. FanDuel within the last 15 minutes just fell off a cliff. From plus 128 to plus now 108. That's a 20-cent difference, guys. FanDuel's not moving their odds for no particular reason, right? So if you can get this on DraftKings, I like it. I'm probably going to go grab this at 365 because I can still get this at plus 135 odds. And we're looking at the over here on this Dream Liberty game on player-made threes. This game starts 5 o'clock Eastern. Player threes over 1.5. Okay, now I'm not going to go. Obviously, I can only get this at 135. So they're telling me about 150. Love seeing, though, that a loss of a couple yards on the first play, though, for K-State. Okay, 150. So I'm going to grab this right now on Fibich for over 1.5 threes, 135. There we go. All right, so let me add this to the bet tracker. This is going to be Bet365, and I'm going for a 150 spot. Okay, but you guys can see how important that movement was right there. I really like that movement off of FanDuel. Player points, rebounds, and assists. This is exactly where I'd lean into FanDuel as the sharp. We're looking to bet the over. So it's going to be now 3rd and 1. So it's very high chance here that maybe K-State gets this ball into the end zone, and our first half under will be cooked. Maybe got a little too aggressive there with my first half bet, but that's all right. Over 14.5 points. You can see DraftKings is hanging this at plus 100. I mean, look at FanDuel. Look at how FanDuel's dropped. They've dropped a lot. They were up here with DraftKings at plus 100 3 hours ago, and now they're all the way down to minus 128. So if you guys have DK, I'm limited severely on DK. This is where I'd say go get it. Go get this over at DraftKings. Big 3rd down coming up. And they don't get it. He's short. So now what do? The problem is, even if they kick the field goal, we really want them to go for it and not get it. That's what we really want to see here. For our first half under, at least. And for Iowa State money line. We'd love to see them just not get this 4th down. That would be fantastic. But if you guys have DraftKings, hit this play up on Cloud. Let's do a quick refresh. Crucial 4th and 1 here. Will they try to draw them off sides? First, we got Austin over 18.5 points and rebounds. See what happens. You know they're going to run the ball. They run it. Oh, Iowa State! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on, first half under still in play. Let's go defense. Oh, that's the best thing that could have happened. It's the best thing that could have happened for our under for the game total, our money line play, and the first half under. Patrick, there's no, you kind of have to get it. You have to kind of put your money where your mouth is in terms of when you think the sports books are going to move. So if you truly believe that Kansas State wasn't going to get that first down, then you would have wanted to bet the under and Iowa State money line there before that play happens, right? There's certain, this is where situational football, you can kind of get into it a little bit, but naturally on a 4th and 1, it's not ideal. But, there's no systematic approach to when these sports books move because they're all different. They all have different people working at their desks. Now, it's all on an algorithm right now, but there isn't just a timing mechanism that we know when they move. We don't, at least I don't have it down to that type of science. Okay, so we're looking at Austin over 18.5 points and rebounds. It's just kind of the reality of the situation. You're never ever, that's just sports betting in general. You're never really ever going to know for a certainty. You're just not. Okay, so FanDuel's moving a lot. These are kind of the movements here, guys, with the Platinum plan that you're going to get access to that I really like to see, right? So you see that they're at minus 112, and then all of a sudden, boom, they come down here to minus 130. So that's a big movement, right, on this over on points and rebounds. So DraftKings, I like that. And then it's better at no vig, right? But if you can get this on DraftKings, I don't mind that as well. Austin over 18.5 points and rebounds. Wilson under 35.5 points and rebounds. Caesars. This would be only Caesars. Let's see what FanDuel's doing. So not much, but Caesars is actually the one that moved. So this is one where I would probably stay away. I wouldn't use that philosophy and try to flip the strategy and say, oh, we should bet the opposite side. I'm just going to stay away from it. But you could see Caesars 24 minutes ago was at minus 120. They now have moved, 15 cents. So could be a play. I'll just stay away from that Wilson play. We come back over here looking at the live betting now right now. Still first half points are around now 23.5. Guys, 20, if you want to bet the over 21.5, the under 23.5, there really isn't much of a difference here. It's a 7-7 game. So not a big deal if you get the over 21. Like if you think like this is a big deal because like, oh man, this is kind of a dead zone. 21.5 to 23.5 is a dead zone based off of what the score is right now in this game. So you're not really getting incredible value betting the over on MGM or Fanatics because it's a dead zone. This is just understanding how football scoring works. Looking at the money line plays. Again, Kansas State now is a heavy favorite, so our plus 105 on Iowa State doesn't look very good, even though they're getting the ball back. The totals in this game, though, are sitting around 47.5. You can get some 45s.5. Let me increase this just a little more. There we go. And so we got this under 46. We'll see how this turns out, right? What we really want to see here from Iowa State is just kind of a long drive that eats up a lot of clock if you're betting the unders. And, it ends in 3 points. Or it ends in just going for it on fourth down and you don't get it. So we'll see what happens here. But it's been because of the weather conditions, it's been a very entertaining first, 15, 16 minutes for sure. And they're backed up in their own end zone, and they come out slinging with a run with an RPO, which, okay, we got to get some yards here, Iowa State. It's not going to be good for the under if Iowa State goes 3 and out right here. We need them to kind of get a little bit up the field just a bit before they maybe eventually would have to punt. Let me get into some questions right now. Do you value Sharpbook's odds and limits over the amount of liquidity on an exchange for one side? Yeah, we've talked about this before, Quan. It's a good question. I value it, but again, it's hard to tell with the limits if it's just someone who's just really rich and has a lot of money and just likes to bet on sports, or if it's a syndicate that's trying to move things in the other direction, right? So it's really hard to tell. So I value the Sharp Book's opinions, but if Pinnacle's only offering max wager of $1,000 and you see like $8,000 on an exchange, I would just stay away from it altogether. If Pinnacle is offering, $30,000 on a market and some exchange has 50,000, I'm still good then with taking Pinnacle as the sharp. Take the safe play for Iowa State. Not ideal for our unders because they only pick up like 3 or 4 yards. But if you're looking at trying to bet a pre-match tennis match and Pinnacle takes a max wager of $500, Pinnacle's only taking $500. It's very easy to manipulate that market for a very small amount of money in terms of getting the price that you want. But if Pinnacle has odds, if they have a liquidity max limit of $30,000, a little bit tougher to move that market if the max wager size is $30,000. So, it all depends on the liquidity on the market that you're betting on overall. Let's get a good snap. Let's get a good punt here, if that's possible. That's a pretty good punt for college. K-State gets the ball about the 41-yard line. So not bad. But obviously the K-State side's looking pretty good. But good question, man. No problem, Clark. No problem. So, this is the nature of live betting, guys. The first quarter, the first 6 minutes, it looked like no team was going to score. It looked like our plus 105 bet on Iowa State looked incredible. Then they go up and get a touchdown. Now K-State comes back. Now our money line play doesn't look very good on Iowa State. Now our first half under looks terrible. And our over is alive. It's fine. It's not great, but it's okay, right? This is just the nature of live betting. These swings are going to happen. So during this stream, if you see the swings that we've had and you go, you know what? I don't know if this is for me, man. I don't know if I can deal with this. Then live betting probably isn't for you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just understanding your limitations. Just because everyone's live betting and then you start to try live betting yourself and you realize that you might shave 20 years off your life, might not be a plus EV move maybe to live bet. Maybe just stick to pregame betting. That's okay too, right? Because live betting can literally take years off your life if you're doing what I'm doing right now and watching the game. And you kind of have to when you're live betting because you need to know what's going on. First 2 plays on offense, Iowa State defense just showing up right now. Boys have come to play. They've come to play. We got a 3rd and long. Clock's running right now. This is nice. This is very nice right now. They can get a 3 and out, force a punt. Looking good. And by the whole time now, you can see the books now back to this 21.5. Again, as we talked about this with the first half points, the under 21.5 or under 22.5 doesn't really make a difference. In a 7-7 game, under 22.5 or under 21.5 is the same exact thing. Give me a false start, please. Yes. Give me a false start. Back that baby up a little bit, please. 5 more, sir. 5 more. So that's kind of how it goes. But in a tie game here, if you're looking at the point spread, right, 3.5, I'd rather have Iowa State at plus 3.5 right now because that's a very key number. It's the most key number in all of football, especially in a tie game. If this was 10-0, 3.5 still means something. If this game, though, is, 41, if it's like a 28-3 game, then the 3.5, 7.5, 10.5 is not nearly as important, right? Whoa, wait a minute. Delay a game on Iowa State? Dude, the coach for Iowa State I think his name's Campbell. He's losing his mind right now. So they call a delay a game to make it 3rd and 8. You don't see that all that often on the defense. He is about to lose his mind. Speaking of shaving years off your life, being a head college football coach and your team gets to delay a game. So we'll see what happens here on this 3rd and 8. Empty set, underneath throw, he picks it up, and and then they missed a bunch of tackles. That's a huge swing because that penalty takes him from 3rd and 13 to 3rd and 8, and then they pick up the first down. Swings of betting, man. Swings of betting. But guys, I'm going to go run over, get some breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. I got breakfast. Shout out to my girl making breakfast for me. But that was live betting for today. Hopefully you guys found some insights. Again, questions, email me, DM me. Don't hesitate to ask. But subscribe to the channel if you found any value, guys. I am not going to be streaming tomorrow, celebrating a birthday party. Hold on, there's a crazy play on this catch. Celebrating a birthday party tonight, so no live stream tomorrow. I will be live streaming Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern, getting ready for week 1 of college football when everybody's in action. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if nothing else, guys, enjoy your Saturday and Sunday, and I'll